Hey, welcome! From our hypothetically interesting but I'd never do it myself department comes this fun fact-rich question. What if you stopped going outside for a year? You better keep some room freshener handy. You know, human beings aren't biologically designed to be cooped up. People need to see the sun, be with nature, and stretch their legs. So if you're stuck at home for a year, or you're a homebody and wish you never had to leave, you can bet you would undergo a dramatic transformation. Keep watching to discover what's most likely to happen. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us on the bright side of life. So, what would happen to you if you were indoors bound? Well, you would suffer from a vitamin D deficiency. According to a 2014 report published in the Age and Aging journal, it's estimated that 1 billion people have a vitamin D deficiency around the world. And what's all the fuss about vitamin D? Well, vitamin D is involved with several systems in your body. It ensures that your bones and muscles are strong and that you have a stable blood pressure. It can also boost weight loss and reduce the risk of heart disease and multiple sclerosis. Before you panic because you've never taken vitamin D and rush to the pharmacy to buy supplements, chances are that if you step outside every day, you get it naturally from the sun, since 85 to 95% of people's vitamin D comes from sunlight. Anyone who stays indoors too much can experience a vitamin D deficiency, which puts them at risk for weak bones, which can lead to breaks, muscle pains, impaired ability to fight off infection, and even hair loss. A little vitamin D deficiency is normal. If you live in a very cold area that sees strong winters and lots of cloud coverage, you probably experience lower vitamin D levels during winter. There are some people who should avoid staying indoors as they have a higher risk of a vitamin D deficiency. If you are obese, elderly, suffer from chronic illnesses, or are an adolescent, you should head outside often to avoid negative health consequences. You'd imagine that a person staying indoors could just take vitamin D supplements, but there is a debate as to whether supplements are effective or not. According to Professor Simon Griffin at Cambridge University, tablets don't have that much of an effect, and a sunbed or UV lamp would be a better choice. But exposing yourself to a UV lamp for a year isn't a good idea, since they can cause skin cancer. You'll gain weight. Have you ever stopped to think about how much incidental exercise you get from simply going about your day? You walk to your car, you might walk at work, you push the cart at the grocery store, you head out during your lunch break to grab a snack, and you pick up the kids. In every one of those instances, you get exercise without thinking about it. If you spend a year at home simply moving from room to room without ever breaking a sweat, it's likely you'll gain weight. If you've ever worked from home doing computer work or had to spend a big chunk of time sick in bed, you've probably experienced how a lack of mobility can make the scales go up. Plus, are you like the thousands of people who struggle with overeating while at home? Heading out to work might be a chore sometimes, but the bright side can be that you're not at home stuffing yourself with all the readily available and tasty items in your fridge. So, between the lack of mobility and overeating, you can imagine what a full year can do to your figure. Your mental health will take a toll. If a single day inside is enough to make you feel blue, maybe you can't envision how you could survive an entire year indoors. For some people, a single day in can take a toll on their mental health, making them feel a lack of energy, causing brain fog, and leading to depression. When a single day can do that, you'll understand what'll happen if it's a year-long thing. So, why is it that so many people feel sad when they stay indoors? Vitamin D comes into play again, and you can see this most clearly during winter. A lot of people experience the winter blues, that feeling of depression and sadness you get when summer's over and it's time to wrap yourself up and spend more time indoors. The feeling isn't in your head. It's the real thing, and it's called Seasonal Affective Disorder, or SAD. SAD. Boy, do they nail that. Several studies, including one published in 2014 by researchers at the University of Georgia, suggests that symptoms of SAD are due to low vitamin D levels. Someone who stays indoors for a year could experience the symptoms of SAD all year. You can bet that they'd lose interest in the things they once cared about and feel sluggish and depressed almost every day. Besides SAD, you might also suffer from social anxiety. If you spend a year indoors by yourself, you might have a difficult time interacting with people or feeling like you're part of a community afterward. This can make you feel lonely and make you withdraw more into your home. You'll miss out on the perks from nature. Have you ever noticed how a problem can seem overwhelming when you're at home? But if you take a walk, get a little sun, and expose yourself to nature, the problem seems more manageable? Many studies show how connecting to nature can improve mental health. If you stay indoors for a year, you'd be missing out on all of nature's benefits, including a stable mood, less anxiety, and better memory. A 2015 study conducted by researchers at Stanford and published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Science showed that people who walked in a natural setting for 90 minutes saw decreased activity in the part of the brain connected with depression. If you were stuck inside, you might think that stuffing your home with all sorts of exotic plants will do the trick. But not so. If you're still surrounded by an urban setting, you won't get the benefits. Your sleep cycle might become irregular. Between feeling blue, feelings of sluggishness, less energy, more anxiety, and weight gain, oh boy, you'll probably want to sleep more. Even though you might not be expending a lot of energy throughout the day, the feelings of fatigue associated with feeling depressed can make you oversleep or, ironically, give you insomnia because you're so tired. If you're stuck at home with no particular reason to get up at a regular time each day, and you don't follow any particular sleep routine, your body's inner clock will be out of sorts, and so will you. Your inner clock, or circadian rhythm, isn't just responsible for telling you when to sleep and when to wake. It also guides when your blood pressure rises throughout the day, when you experience bowel movements, and when you feel most alert. So, if you're indoors for a long time without a regular sleep schedule, you might find yourself the most alert right when you wanted to sleep. Alternatively, you might feel tired all day long. You might have experienced jet lag when you travel, so you know the feeling of wanting to collapse into bed even though the day's lovely and the sun is bright. When staying indoors causes irregular sleep, it can feel like being in a constant state of jet lag. On the bright side, your finances might see a little upgrade. Your utility bill is likely to go up, but you wouldn't have to spend money on gas or public transport. You'd most likely eat at home, which means less expense from eating out. And since you're not heading out, you wouldn't have to spend money attending social events, like meeting friends at a restaurant and attending birthday parties. At the end of a year of staying indoors, your pockets might be a little more loaded with cash, but you will probably have gained weight, have big bags under your eyes, and look a little worse for wear, though you could recover from all of it. Pulling off being indoors without any negative health effects would involve a solid sleep routine, regular interaction with other human beings, an adequate at-home workout, and lots of foods with vitamin D. You might have already come to this conclusion, but it seems that with all things considered, if you really don't have to stay indoors for a full year, it's best not to do it. Even if you love being a homebody and your home is the ultimate place of comfort and happiness for you, try to head outside for at least 20 minutes every day, so that your physical and mental health can remain in the best shape.